Hello again everybody, and welcome to another edition of On the Range in the A-10C Warthog. And today I'm going to go over an emergency procedure. I'm going to cover what you do for an engine fire in flight. And this is something that comes up for me every now and then. You've seen it in a few of the videos just from ground fire. And I get a fire in the engine and I have to figure out how to salvage the situation and what to do. So the first thing that I'm going to do once the emergency does occur is what's called the boldface procedure. It's called the boldface because it is quite literally in the flight manual printed in boldface. And the intent behind that is that the procedure is performed instinctively. You don't even think about it. You just do it once the emergency occurs. The boldface procedure for an engine fire is going to be to pull the throttle to cutoff for the affected engine, pull the fire handle for the affected engine, and discharge the fire extinguisher, and hopefully that puts out the fire. And from there, it's just a matter of controlling the aircraft and taking care of any other small emergencies that occur as a result of the fire. So for now, I'm just standing by waiting for this to occur. It always happens right around here. And there we go. Okay, I've got a master caution light. I've got some engine indications telling me something's up with the left engine. Looking back, yep, that is definitely on fire. Okay, I'm going to pull that throttle to cut off, pull the handle, discharge. Okay, fire light out. Okay, maintaining control of the aircraft. Okay, looks like the fire is out. Okay, caution lights. Okay, everything is left engine, oil pressure, fuel pressure, left gen. I've got control of the aircraft and everything's looking as well as it can be. Now, one thing I did kind of instinctively there as well is once I pulled the throttle back to cutoff, I had to compensate for some asymmetric thrust by putting in some right rudder input. I have that up still, and I'll bring it in so you can see. And now, the second little emergency is that I'm quickly approaching terrain. So I need to get as much drag off of this aircraft as I possibly can. Okay, speed brakes are in, flaps are up. It's iffy. I've got a 195. I might not make that, so I'm going to go ahead and jettison all my external stores by depressing the stores jettison button. Okay, that lightened me considerably. Okay, 188. I'm going to make it over this first ridge, but I'm kind of questioning whether I'm going to make it over the second ridge. But I don't know, that's looking more and more promising. But just in case, one additional thing that I can do is for my good engine, go on the engine fuel flow switch from norm to override. That's going to provide, under certain conditions, just a little bit more thrust. Okay, so I'm still controlling the aircraft. I've got all the drag off the aircraft that I possibly can, the best performance I could possibly get out of my good engine. And, okay, things are looking a lot better now. Okay, so the immediate threat is behind us, and now we just need to clean up all the little things that have happened as a result. Okay, so everything is as expected. I still have good hydraulic pressure, and, okay, now let me just go through the rest of the procedure. Okay, I'm going to toggle off my stability augmentation system switches. Okay, so those paddle off, master caution light reset, and what that does is it just keeps me from having to fight the stability augmentation system for control of the aircraft. I have a lot of asymmetric thrust, a lot of rudder input right now, doing some things with the stick to maintain directional control, and I don't want to be fighting the SAS, and also it gets it set up so that in case there is an additional failure as a result of the fire, that I don't have to deal with any additional inputs from the SAS. Okay, next up, the second part of that is going to be, okay, now I have that left gen light on. I need to do something about that. Because if you watched my previous video about the A-10 electrical system, you'll know that even though that left generator is no longer functioning, the left engine is no longer providing generator power, the right engine is still providing power. But if that right engine does go down or that generator does fail, I'm looking at a total electrical failure. So I need to do something about that. So I have a backup I can use. I can go APU start. And as long as I'm below 15,000 feet, I can count on the APU being able to start for me. And I can also go APU gen power to on. And I get an associated caution and warning light on that. I can go master caution reset. And I got that light because even though the APU generator is now providing power, it's not actually connected to the system yet because I have the right generator providing power. But it is there now as a backup, so at least I do have some more redundancy built into the aircraft right now in case there are additional failures. Okay, and the last thing that I need to do is, since my left engine is no longer operating, I don't have those fuel pumps operating, and I'm looking at the potential for some asymmetric fuel loading right here. And I can see that I now have less fuel on my right side than I do on my left side. So I want to cross feed on, and that's going to try to, if not balance out completely, that's going to keep the fuel from getting even more out of balance by allowing the fuel pumps to provide left some fuel to the right engine. Okay, so that was the procedure. At this point, now I need to start looking ahead to a single engine landing, which we'll cover in a later video. But just to recap, a lot of stuff happened there. That's actually a lot of fun to do and a lot of fun to practice. So to recap, okay, bull-face procedure. Okay, left engine fire, I pulled my left engine to the cutoff position, pulled my left fire handle, discharged the extinguisher. At that point, I had control of the aircraft and I started to get drag off the aircraft. You don't have to do this if you're not in a situation where you don't need to jettison stores or go to the override position on your engine fuel flow, but I needed to due to terrain. So I verified my speed brakes were in, flaps were up, I jettisoned my stores, went to the override position on my fuel flow to provide some extra power out of that engine, and at that point I dealt with my AC generator problem, got it back up online with the APU generator, and then I dealt with the fuel imbalance potential by going cross-feed on. So that is the full procedure for an engine fire. It's the same thing for the right-hand side, except instead of right rudder to compensate for the asymmetric thrust, it's left rudder. But I hope you did enjoy that. That was the most fun I've had in DCS in a long time, is prepping and recording this one. So I hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.